Well, Lee, as you build up towards your next game, I know it's another free week, but there'll be some hard work for your players as well. 4 wins on the spin, 3 clean sheets. You must be delighted, I think, with the way that your team has responded and brought some consistency in there.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing, the consistency that we're able to bring over the last few games. And I've always said in this league, it's them who can stay the most consistent will look to progress, and that's what we've got to do. I always say them games have now gone and we've got to move forward and we've got to see if we can get better. I still think there's lots of room for improvements with or without the football, but the level of consistency that the players have shown has been we've been delighted with really as backroom staff. You know, we go back to the Chesterfield game from that and responding to the messages that we're giving them, and they're getting the rewards in terms of picking up points.
Of course, footballers and football clubs thrive on winning games. There's no doubt about that. But you, as the manager and your coaching staff, do you have to look after it a little bit differently to keep the feet firmly on the ground? That that they've got to focus on what gets them results.
I think we've got a quite level-headed group with that. I think they'll stay quite consistent with how they want to approach the week's training, the games. I don't think we'll have a problem in terms of them getting too carried away. But we do that by delivering intense training sessions, messages, always looking how we can get the upper hand, not trying to just churn out the same thing every week. But I don't think we'll have a problem with the players knowing you're only as good as your last game. And the next game comes up and they'll be judged off that one, won't they? Not on what's gone by. So we'll be fine in that front.
Well, your next game is your 100th game in charge of Crewe Alexandra as a manager. Time moves very quickly, but that surprised you, did it quickly come around?
Yeah, and I didn't know until I got the message saying that it'd be brought up. I really didn't know. But yeah, it does go really quick, a couple of months or so. That'll be 2 years since I've been manager, but it does fly. But extremely honoured and proud to be part of the football club, and hopefully there's a few more 100 games in there.
Another thing that might surprise you, the 5th longest serving manager in League Two.
Not really. It doesn't surprise me, if I'm honest, in football. I think it's crazy, and managers will say that because we all don't want to get the sack. But I do think it's crazy how much turnaround there is within football, just in general, in terms of management appointments. But yeah, to only be, was it 1 year, 10 months or something, and be the longest one of the longest serving, and yeah. But no, it doesn't surprise me because football's gone down that route, hasn't it?
What have you learned?
A great deal. To deal with expectations better, to deal with my own expectations better. I think that's the main thing. Learned that it's an impossible task to do this on your own. I'm blessed to have really good backroom staff. Ryan being the assistant, take a lot off me. But the expectation in terms of what you can't listen to the expectation what comes from outside of your dressing room really. I think I've learned to deal with that better. And just being more level-headed with it, when results don't go the way you want it to go, knowing that you've got an opportunity to work with the squad again, work with your staff to try and improve things. So it's not nice to lose football matches, but being a little bit more level-headed and consistent with myself in terms of being able to deal with that.
So when you took over in 2022, of course, and here we are now 2024, has it changed the role? Has you seen big changes in terms of how managers have to be?
Not necessarily. I think it's important that you make the changes yourself in terms of what you're willing other people to do. Like I say, it's just an impossible task to be able to do everything. I know my skill set, what I'm really good at. Well, I say what I'm really good at, but what I feel I'm good at. I know what the staff are really good at, and allowing them to be able to be part of it and dealing with the things that I want them to do, training sessions, etc. But I don't think it's changed in terms of what you can do. You could do everything and drive yourself crazy. I'm determined not to do that.
You must be delighted because you built a terrific team last season, no doubt about that, and lost some big players throughout the summer and had to rebuild. And here you are now on this great run of 4 wins on the spin. That must be delighting for you, and you must feel good about it all.
Yeah, I think that's the life of a crew manager. I think you lose your best players in the end. The facts show that, the stats show that. So I've said before, this is basically our 3rd rebuild since I've been manager doing it, and it took a little bit of time to get the players to where we want them to be, and then the results have started to pick up. The main thing is, Graham, is we're massive on it, is the character of the people, and we've been able to do that. I think your character can take you a long way, and they've brought into what we're trying to do, what we want to be, and that's been the most impressive thing, is the new lads that have come in, bought into the environment, want to do well. We outlined a plan for them individually and as a team collective, and that's the most pleasing thing, that these players are good humans, and they want to do well.
Well, next up is Newport. 3 wins, I think, and 5 defeats for them. No draws yet so far under a new management team again.
Yeah, new managers come in and really change the style of play. That probably associated with the Newport team. Picked up some good results in the early part of the season, but definitely changed the way they play. So it'll be a really interesting game going down there. A real notorious place to go anyway. And they'll obviously look to continue that and make it a difficult place for teams to go and try and pick up results.
Your aim is to get 5 wins on the spin. I think if my memory serves me right, and my checking up was okay, I think it was 94-95 seasons since they actually got 5 on the spin.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing, and it's probably something I'll use with the players, that they can set another type of goal and record for themselves, because we did that a lot in the last 18 months. So yeah, I'll use that one, Graham, with the players. Thank you.
Don't tell them it's come from me if we don't get the result. Don't blame me, whatever you do. But anyway, are the selection options getting any better? It's a bit of a reunion time as well in Newport for Mickey and for Omar and for Courtney Baker-Richardson, who's now playing for the opponents.
Yeah, plenty of connections with each other. It'll be good to see Courtney. He's gone down there and obviously knows the place really well and done well. Scored 3 goals, I think it is now, and so he started life back down there really well. Mickey obviously went back there last year again with Courtney being with us, but he's just a likeable person, isn't he? That comes from how he plays the game. So the fans look on him fondly. So I assume he'll get a good reaction. Omar, hopefully he'll be somewhere near to be involved. We're going to have to look at that towards the back end of the week. But we won't just be putting him in there just because it's his old team.